What's going on, guys? Welcome to the new episode. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 306. Now, the main event was Merab versus Sugar Sean, and there seems to be some controversy, so let's talk about it. So, watching the fight, as soon as the fight started, boom, Herb Dean has to step in the middle, has to talk to both fighters, has to talk to Sean's corner, Tim Welsh, and he has to make it clear, like, hey man, there's no excessive coaching going on. No excessive coaching. And Tim Welsh was known for that fight against Aljo, Sugar Sean and Aljo. I'll put a clip right here.
That's it, Sean. Keep that pressure. Aljo, you gotta go. Yeah!
Aljo, you gotta go. And then he gets rocked, bro. It's like, oh my gosh. That's crazy. You gotta think about that stuff. So I'm sure Murat was ready for it, and Herb Dean wasn't having it at all. So I think, Merab fought the fight that most people thought he was going to fight. He was going to wrestle. He was going to control Sean on the ground. And it was up to Sean, to display some of his groundwork, some of his jiu-jitsu. I know he's been working on it, and we haven't really seen Sean on the ground. He's been a sniper on the feet, knocking people out left and right. But this wrestling problem, it's here, man. And I think it's here to stay. We got Bilal Muhammad. He beat Leon Edwards in a similar fashion as Merab, and it feels like these guys, these wrestlers, really know how to control the fight. If they want to stand, they'll stand. But if they want to take you down, there's not a lot of people who could stop that. Sean had some good sprawls, and he was able to stop a couple takedowns. But Murad was just picking up his leg and just freaking tossing him down and controlling him, kneeling on his thighs and his hamstrings, and it was tough, dude. First two rounds definitely went to Murad. He had the momentum, and with all that commotion going on, I'm sure it was hard for Sean to stay focused because it's at the Sphere. Have all these crazy animations going on, Aztec temples, Aztec warriors in the stars, freaking Mayan calendar, bro. It was like wild. I'm like, what's going on, man? So, Sean stayed, cool, calm, and collected, but I feel like we didn't see the best of him just because he was trying to answer the problem of the wrestler. So that's what I really wanted to talk about in this video, just because I'm new to all this like MMA, jiu-jitsu, groundwork, ground game, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy. The wrestlers, are champions, and I feel like that's the reason why they're champions is mostly because of the mentality that it takes to be a wrestler. All respect to all the wrestlers out there, dude. It's freaking whoa. Like, even with the small amount of the jiu-jitsu competition experience that I got, it's a freaking different ball game for sure. And it's like you really have to be in peak physical condition and mental condition to be able to compete at your best. And Merab did his thing, bro. He really controlled the fight. And as soon as the fight was over, Joe Rogan went up to Merab. He asked him, "Hey, Umar's next. Are you ready?" And Merab didn't even know what was going on. Like, I think Merab had one of the craziest celebrations of getting the belt that I've seen. And it's crazy. Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson made an interesting point, saying that the athletes really don't get to relish and enjoy the moment of being a champion because everybody wants the next one, the next fight. What's next for these fighters? And they don't take it into account that these guys made a decision one day that they want to be an MMA fighter, and they went through all these fights, these underground fights. They practiced countless hours in the gym, maybe sacrifice so much, maybe like in relationships and all that other stuff, strict diet, strict everything. And they work all the way to this day to try to become champion. And once they're champion, the first question they ask is like, this guy wants what you got. And it's crazy. And it's something that I definitely didn't think about. I'm in the same boat, man. I'm like consuming. I'm waiting for the next fight, waiting for John and Stipe to go at it. And I'm like, bro, we're just constantly asking these people for more, for more, for more. And it was crazy. But Merab really didn't know how to answer that question when Joe Rogan asked him. And I think that would be an interesting fight as well. A lot of people are saying it's going to be a snooze fest and all that stuff. But, bro, being like at that that plays that level of wrestling, it's something that's like you really have to be, your conditioning has to be on 100. But I do want to touch on the other fights as well. That was the main card. We had Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko, and Dana White wasn't feeling his main events for some reason. I really enjoyed him still. Like I didn't know what he was like really trying to get his point across. Like I don't know if he just wants every fight to be a freaking bloody war, but it just seems like, the technique and the ground aspects really work. Like they control the fight, man. They could really control the fight. Alexa was doing her thing off her back. I was seeing that she was like trying for all these submissions, omoplatas, triangles, arm bars, and really trying to attack from her back, which we don't really see too much. A lot of people really just try to get control, hold down, like a lot of wrestlers like Khabib, really control and really start striking from those positions. But it just seemed like Valentina Shevchenko had the answers for Alexa. They fought like 2 times before, so they know each other pretty well. And I feel like, Valentina, she's been fighting for a long time. And, I feel like she deserved the belt. She won. She clearly won. And it just wasn't Alexa's night. But I also want to talk about Diego Lopez and Brian Ortega. This was a fight that I had mixed emotions with because I like both fighters. I really like the personalities of both fighters. Brian Ortega is from Los Angeles. He's also Mexican. But Diego Lopez has those Mexican hands, which is completely different, man. He really embraces that Mexican spirit, even though he's from Brazil. I think he walked out to La Chona, which is an excellent song choice for his walkout. But I really wanted Brian Ortega to win, dude. I like both of them, but I really want to see some good jiu-jitsu, some transitions, some stuff. And unfortunately, we weren't able to really see that because in the first 30 seconds, Brian Ortega gets hit with a 2-piece combo from Diego, and it was like lightning speed, boom, boom. And I thought Brian Ortega got knocked out right away as soon as he fell down. It looks like the second punch woke him up. I saw a clip on Instagram where I'm like, it does look like that. But it was crazy, man. Diego Lopez really had the momentum from there. And, Brian Ortega was trying to claw his way back. But Brian has that dog in him, man. Maybe if it went 5 rounds, it would have been a different story. But it was 3, and Diego got that win. Also, we had a Ronaldo Rodriguez fight. Oh, actually, before that, it was Daniel Zellhuber versus, let me get the name real quick. I don't want to mess it up. It was Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Bribovics. And that one fight of the night, man. 3 rounds as well. First round could have gone either way. I don't know who really won the first round, but at the second round, Daniel Zellhuber got freaking rocked, bro. And it was wild while I was watching that. We had like a group, like a music group, where I was watching the fight, and it felt like the music was like syncing up with the fight, dude. It felt like the storyline. It felt like there was a story in that fight. I don't know how to explain it, but as soon as he got rocked, dude, he used every fiber of his being, just trying to fight and swing and bop and weave. And I feel like that's really what the Mexican spirit is all about. That's why they had this thing at the Sphere, the fighting spirit, all that stuff. And Daniel Zellhuber definitely embodied it. And unfortunately, he didn't get the win, but he definitely held his own. And I'm interested to see his fights. That was the first fight I've seen from him. And it was definitely a fight to remember for sure. And then we also have Ronaldo Rodriguez versus I think Ode or OD. I'm pretty sure it's Ode Osborne. And that one was a little different because I had the stream popped up. I just started the stream there, and the stream went off. Like the TV just went black, and we're like, "What's going on?" as soon as I turn the stream back on, it pops up on the TV. Ronaldo's in a freaking deep triangle. I'm like, bro, 90% of the people are tapping to that triangle he's in. It was super tight. He was in it for a long time. He ended up breaking out of the submissions in the beginning, the first round, and then from there, from the second round to the third, he was fighting. He was giving everything he had. He was controlling his back, trying these rear naked chokes, and he ended up getting the win. I felt like that fight could have gone either way, but just because I know Osborne had a takedown at the end, and it seemed like it was neck and neck from there, and then he got a takedown. But it was a crazy event, and I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on the Sphere. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys think there's going to be another one. In my personal opinion, I definitely think there's going to be more events at the Sphere. UFC, boxing, football. I feel like that's a moneymaker, man. You're able to set a background, and you could have the fight in the back outer space or at the desert or in a jungle, and it adds a whole different atmosphere to the fights. So I definitely think that this is not a one-time thing like Dana says. I'm sure it's just like trying to generate more more eyes to the sport, saying it's going to be the one-time thing like a Super Bowl. But I really think that his contract with MGM, they'll probably allow more fights at the Sphere. Maybe it'll be an annual thing, maybe not. But I just feel like that's what the future is going to look like when they have the fighters up and looking like a freaking UFC game. Like, bro, that's freaking wild. And have the backdrops and all the story and the music. It was awesome, dude. So I know a lot of people were saying, or at least when I say a lot of people, I mean Dana White. Like Dana White was saying, if you turned off the TV before the co-main events, you would have enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing. I felt like the fighters did their thing. They did their best, especially on that stage. These guys haven't really fought there before. It's a whole different environment, and it takes a lot to get used to. So I'm sure that played a role in the performance of the fights. Plus, they had Merab was like kissing Sean O'Malley on his back, and Herb Nee was telling him to work. Like, it definitely wasn't what Dana predicted, I guess, but it was just pretty much a great card regardless. So if they have more championship fights and build it up, I think that would be a good location for that. So just want to talk about it for a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed you guys' day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.